Let's talk about the energy going on right now. And we're about halfway through the year. Let's just kind of dive in and see where we've been and where we're going. This podcast episode is going to be a reading on the energy that we've experienced thus far and the energy going on now and the energy coming up. So stay tuned. Welcome to Spiritual and Ambitious. I'm your host, Whitney McNeill. I'm a certified medium and spiritual teacher, and I help spiritual and ambitious souls just like you live your life purpose through your career and attract abundance by connecting into your intuition and spirit guides. Let's get spiritual and ambitious. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Spiritual and Ambitious podcast. If you have not given me a review yet and you love this episode, I would like to see your name pop up in the review list so I can give you a shout out right here on the podcast. So you can leave a 5-star review over at messengerofspirits.com/podcast review, because we do have a podcast review giveaway, and you can just leave a review wherever you're listening from. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'm using my own Messenger of Spirit Oracle deck. I will link to them in the show notes if you haven't received your deck yet. And I'm going to shuffle. So you're going to hear me shuffle. I am literally reading the energy right as I'm recording. So I want to set my intentions with my deck. What did we learn as a collective in the last 6 months? So January 2023 through June 2023, that's really where I'm at. I want to know what kind of lessons are we all learning, and what did we need to take away? So you might be wondering, well, why are you talking about the past? Well, because you want to look at the highlights of what were the things that I needed to take away so I can pack it in my bag and move these tools into my new toolbox as I move into the future. So it's not about rehashing the past. It's like, let's provide gratitude to the past, because if we're like, oh my God, go away, like just I'm ready to move on, then what happens is we end up being stuck in the past. So when we allow ourselves to appreciate the gratitude before moving on, then we're able to accurately release the lessons, right? We all want to do that. Okay, so the first card here was, it helped us see things more clearly. And also a lot of relationship stuff came to the surface. So really where we stood in relation to XYZ. And it's going to be different for each person listening, but where you stood in someone's life, where you stood in relation to your own value system, where you stood in relation to your creativity and your sacral chakra. I actually recorded an episode about the sacral chakra in June because that was a big deal that was coming up. And so the number on this card is 20, which adds up to 2. That's how I read these cards most of the time. And that really represents a lot of the sacral chakra things. So if you have not listened to that sacral chakra episode, it would be good if you want to see things more clearly and help that chakra open up in your life. So it really was like, this is where I'm at, especially my value system. Value system really goes along in the sacral chakra. And this is really helpful to know where you stand on things. So that's what's coming up. And then this next card is about, it helped us build a firm foundation. So it's really important for us to pay attention to the details of how we were in relation to things, how we were in value system. Was our relationship working out? Was it something we still wanted to be in with our spouse, with our family, with our friends, with our job? Whatever that is for you, it's, hey, we needed to see things clearly so that we could build a firm foundation. I'm also getting that it helped us clear out all the shit that we didn't need to deal with anymore. It's like, hey, what's really working for you and what is working against you? What are you trying to hold on to that really isn't serving you anymore? So that's good to know. And this next card here was about change in the body. So this happened to me raising my hand all about weird shit going on in the body. And so many people that I talked to in my circle, they were having similar things going on in their body. A lot of them, it was throat chakra stuff, but not all of them. Some of my circle, they were having weird things in their hands, weird things in their hips and their back and their sacral chakra. So your body was really telling you things need to change. And this is going to be really important as we move into the future because we don't listen to our bodies enough. And it's really important to listen to our body. What does your body need? So our mind, our mental body, and our physical body, sometimes they don't communicate. Where our mental body's like, get with the damn program, body. And our body's like, hey, I'm still over here and you are not waiting for me and you're not in harmony with me. So the body is like this anchor that's refusing to move until you give the body what it wants and what it really, really, truly needs. So that's something, if you haven't done, make sure you're listening to. For me, my body has definitely changed its diet of what it needs to be helpful and healthy. And I've also noticed my environmental allergens, different things are changing with me too, which for me could be a potential move. So really pay attention to your body. Maybe you need to be outside more. Maybe you're way too hard on your body. Maybe you're not using your body enough. Maybe there's a message that your body is trying to communicate to you that you haven't. But this is really based on what happened January through June. And it's not too late to listen to these messages and to really dive in if you feel like you haven't gotten it yet. And finally, the outcome of what was going on here was clarity. And it comes with a number 9, which I love. That's all about completions, endings, moving to a new phase. I love how this spread just kind of ended and it is prepare to make a decision. Clarity is right around the corner. So thank God, right? Like I know we're all feeling January through June, ha ha ha, such an interesting time. That's important because it did prepare us to have more clarity, which is really what we need. And summer really does provide more clarity for us too. There's just something about the summer solstice and the energy when it comes that it clears everything up. Okay. So now let's talk about what is happening currently, right here in this moment, like presently. What is the energy going on presently for us that we need to know right now, right here on July 19th? Slow down and give yourself grace. All right, take a pause. So, whenever I want to say this, whenever we are moving to a new vibration cycle, starting a new project, starting a new job, just starting a new phase of energy, it's really important that we honor transition. And a lot of times we don't want to honor it. We're like, screw transition and just get to the next thing. I get it. I feel like I've been in transition for a good while. And I used to hate transition. And now I'm saying, thank you, transition, for being here. Because without transition, you would have no time to acclimate your energy. And if you're not acclimating your energy, you're not going to manifest the way that you want. You're not going to get the results that you're going to want because your mind is in one page and your body and your emotional body is in another. So your mental and spiritual body are faster, meaning they already know the things. Like that's what I mean by faster. They already know all the things that you want to do. So, I mean, sometimes your mental body doesn't know, but your spiritual body always does. But your emotional body and your physical body, they need time to process. They need time to purge and let go. And they are the slower of all of the bodies to catch up. Your physical body is like the cow's tail. It's like, I'm finally going to get there. Give me some time. I'm coming. So this is why we want to honor transition. Slow down and give yourself grace. Stop being so hard on yourself right now. Like maybe you're thinking, I got to make that decision. Like I spent the last 6 months doing what? I don't know. Like I've got to get on board here with myself and my soul. Well, give yourself some grace with that. It's okay to take a little transition. And really the energy of what I'm asking for right now is current for this day, but it also is pretty much kind of like the 2 weeks prior to today and the 2 weeks coming up. So it's kind of like all of July in a way. Okay. This next card here is the solar plexus chakra. Remember who you are. Remember your power. Remember that you are a creator, and remember that you are a powerful person. Sometimes we fall into this victim role where we want to blame everybody else and we forget that we can step up and do it. So today, as I'm recording, I had to make a call to my fulfillment center for my cards. There was kind of an issue there. And I got tons of anxiety about it on Friday because I could not call them because their time zone is different than mine, which means I had to wait Saturday and Sunday. And then I had all this anxiety on Sunday. And I finally had to say, Whitney, you are a boss ass bitch. Stop it. Like, stop it. And of course, I talked to my spirit guides and asked them to help me with this too. And it was like I had lost my zen. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Remember who I am? Like, stop it. I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to handle this situation. It's going to be wonderful. And I always ask my spirit guides, please just take care of this for me. Like, and also please let this happen with ease and grace and give me the right time to do XYZ. So it's really important that you talk to your guides, but also remember who the F you are, right? Sometimes we need to psych ourselves up in a way. And for me, that's how I needed to do it. We sometimes get lost in this, especially when you're an entrepreneur, a spiritual entrepreneur. Sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like everybody hates me. Somebody left a bad comment, or maybe you're not getting the sales you're wanting, whatever it is. Sometimes we can feel like, oh my gosh, I suck, even though you're a spiritual person. And you might not say those words. Sometimes the negative thoughts get in your head and really for who you are. Like, you're amazing. And remember that you are helping so many people. And that one negative person in your life, whether it be a client, whether it be a person commenting on social media, whether it be somebody in your family, your friends, that's one freaking person. And you are amazing. You're not going to have everybody like you, and that's okay. And focus on the amazing people that you are helping and that love your vibe. Don't focus on the people that don't matter. Okay, next card. Divine timing. Let go of your timeline. Spirit has a plan. This card adds up to 11 for me. I made that happen on purpose. And I also remember with 11s, it feels like there's divine timing. I also get that divine timing with sevens too. But let go of your timeline. Spirit has a plan. So when you are feeling like nothing is working out, nothing's going the way that I'm trying to get it to go, no, the first card right now, slow down, give yourself grace. Remember who you are, and you're a powerful manifester, and let go of your timeline. Spirit has a plan. We've got you. Like, you haven't lost any of your power, you haven't lost any of your abilities. You're still amazing. Just let go. All right, when we come back after this quick break, I'm going to be giving a reading about what's coming up in the next 6 months. I guess it might be the next 5 months if you really think about, okay, you already gave me a reading for July, so it's just August through December. However, I tend to feel like January is always the last month. It's like the 13th month of the year, is how I like to say it. So stay tuned. This episode is sponsored by my free Spirit Guide Masterclass. Inside, you'll learn the 5 C's of Spirit Guide communication, your role with your Spirit Guides, 2 proven effective strategies to stop second guessing yourself and your intuition, and the single most important step to understand your intuitive guidance, along with 4 ways to perceive your spiritual intuitive messages. You'll also be getting a workbook to go through this class as well. You can join at messengerofspirit.com/free class. Welcome back to this episode. We have been giving messages about what has happened the last 6 months, what we need to be focusing on right now. And now I'm giving a message about what's to come, what we need to know about the future. So I have members inside of my aligned spiritual mentorship. And right now it's only for my students that take 4 intuitive languages. And we did a workshop on divination. Everyone loves to know what's going to happen in the future. And the future is really based on a lot of previous choices that you've made and your vibration rate. However, in this reading, this is for the collective. So this is really about what's to come for all of us. And you know that you have nuanced kind of messages in between there too for you. So the first card comes with a 7. So this is on a spiritual level. This is like a spiritual lesson. And it's the card of the doorkeeper. Discernment is key. It's time to decide who gets access to you. So it really feels like you're kind of locking down on who was helpful for you. So remember in the past reading, we learned what was serving you in the past 6 months, right? And then you got clarity on that so that you could remove them if they weren't. And this is really like button up on who gets your precious energy and your precious time. So this is all about, hey, it's time to actually implement this on a spiritual level and stop effing around, do the thing. So if your situation is not something that you want to be in anymore, it is time to really lock down or get the resources and the tools that you need to start moving forward and making sure that only the right people who are aligned are getting access to you. And if you still have to work with somebody that's negative, minimal access. This is also about patching your energy leaks, looking at where do you feel your energy is being leaked and where do you feel that you can contain your energy. That's going to be really important. It's like plugging the leaks in a boat and really evaluating your life. Now, if you've not taken my empath workshop yet, I'm giving you this special right now where it's 50% off. And this will be very helpful in plugging some of those energetic leaks for you. We'll link to it in the show notes. Oh my gosh. All right. The next card is so similar. It's actually the same card that we got that we're continuing on this year with building a firm foundation. So pay attention to the details. You're still building that foundation of how you want your cycle to be. So we go through different cycles in our life. Sometimes it's cycle is a few seconds, sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's years, such as a relationship or a job or things like that. This really speaks to me about your life path. You are building a firm foundation for your life path, but pay attention to the details and the nuances. Now it's time to really go deep with how you want that to look. So, this is what is coming up in the next 5, 6 months for us. And with this comes the energy of 9, which is all about letting go, completion. And this really feels like with the other card before it, it's like I need to button up on my energy and let some people go or situations go, whatever's kind of draining your energy, so I can move forward on my plan. And that's how you're paying attention to the details. All right, this next card is no stranger here because I actually referenced it earlier. This card is the sacral chakra. It comes with the number 11, which is balance. This one does break down to a 2 for me, which is the second chakra. And remember that you are worthy and reassess what you value. So you're still doing that this year. So even though that's a phase that you were in already, January through June, you are buttoning up even tighter, discerning who can get access and really claiming your value system, really saying, all right, I am worthy. And so now this is my new value. This is my new energy. Therefore, I'm only attracting people, only letting people in who match that value system. Same for activities and things that you're doing in your life. Now, what I love about this spread is the earth card and the sacral chakra card. They both have the energy of orange. So a lot of sacral chakra work is going on. Again, I'll link to the sacral chakra episode that I recorded, but I can just feel there's a lot of things kind of brewing there at the surface. And a lot of what's coming up right now too is a lot of women's energy. So especially for women, I feel like there's going to be this, I'm paving my path. I'm paying attention to the details. I'm getting really clear about what I want in my life and who I want in my life. All right, this next card is the card of the dragonfly, and it comes with 5 big change coming. Your purpose is being revealed. So with dragonfly, this is the card of the light worker, if you will, and you're here for a reason. Right now, you're breaking through the illusion. Your purpose is being revealed to you, even if you don't necessarily have all the bits and pieces. You do have clarity. It's coming in. It will continue to come in, but your purpose is being revealed. A lot of us right now feel like our purpose has been shifted and changed. And with our purpose feeling like it's been shifted and changed, we can feel like we're at this waiting zone. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life right now? My purpose was this, and now I'm feeling bleh. I'm not feeling super connected to it. What do I freaking do? That kind of feeling. Well, your purpose is still there. Like, your purpose is there. It might just shift and change. So, we all have different life purpose archetypes. And I have my main one, which is the teacher archetype. The second one is my healer archetype. My third one is my creator. We can kind of dance in and out of these archetypes, but teaching is my primary one. That can be displayed very differently. If somebody has a teacher archetype, they could be teaching online like I do, or they could be teaching in a classroom, or they could be teaching in a completely different way. Our children can be teachers. People that come in who are disabled and need a full-time caregiver, they're teachers for us. So there's lots of different ways that people display their purpose. However, their path is what I'm talking about. Let's say that your archetype is the archetype of a healer. You could be a veterinarian, you could be a physical therapist, you could be a Reiki practitioner, you could be an aromatherapist. There's so many different ways. What's happening here is a lot of our life paths are changing. Our purpose isn't changed, our path is. So the purpose and the path is going to be revealed to you. And finally, the last card I have is clear your mind. You're blocking what you need to receive. Quit blocking it and let it happen. Pull a couple other cards on top of that. Most people get really prickly when they get this card and they're like, what the fuck, Whitney? Like, I'm clearly opening my damn mind here. Well, this card has number 5, which is the energy of change. It's also the energy of your throat chakra, too. I would really look at your throat chakra and see if you've been expressing yourself, if you've been expressing your ideas. You might have received, let's say, your purpose and has been revealed to you, or bits and pieces. Have you written it down? Have you taken action on it? Have you started to move forward on it? And if you haven't, then that can block and get gunked up because this is an energy highway that's being blocked because you're not actively expressing your energy. So you can always listen to my throat chakra episode if you need a little help in that. But I'm going to pull a couple more cards for clarifiers. So the first card I have here to help you stop getting blocked and to open and clear your mind is a card of air. And this is stop overthinking and start communicating. Again, throat chakra energy, right? It's like, I got to quit thinking about it and just communicate about it and start doing it. This is going to be the way to stop getting blocked. Now, the communication comes up and it also really speaks to your spirit guides. Are you communicating with your spirit guides or are you just sitting there thinking? So, really communicating with your guides is going to be helpful for you to get unstuck. I am going to just recap these: doorkeeper, earth, sacral chakra, air, and clear your mind. Discernment, decide who gets access to you. You're building a firm foundation. Reassess your value and remember you're worthy. Your purpose is being revealed as you're doing that and clearing your mind. So, with your sacral chakra in there too, I also feel that it can be really helpful. This really feels like it is the other clarifier card because I didn't have another one, like nothing else popped up for me with a clear your mind card until I reread and recapped. the sacral chakra feels like, remember your creativity, get into your creative spark. And that is going to be helping you when you get creative, when you feel inspired. That will help you with your purpose and it will help you get unstuck. Remember, sacral chakra and throat chakra have a huge correlation together. And I love seeing how some of the recent episodes I've recorded are kind of showing themselves in the cards here today, which is really cool because spirit always has a plan. I just don't know it. And we're not always privy to know the entire plan. All right. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you're interested in this Oracle card deck, I'll link to it in the show notes. I'll also link to my free Spirit Guide Masterclass and my Empathic workshop in the show notes. I will be back next week with a brand new episode. But until then, here's to staying spiritual and ambitious. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And if you loved it, would you please share it with a friend? I would also love your review and a reminder to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find me at messengerofspirit.com, and you can take the 4 Intuitive Languages quiz and find show notes there too. If you want to connect on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you can find me at Messenger of Spirit. I'll meet you right here next week. Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM. Women's voices amplified.